One of the very important thing which Srila Prabhupada contributed to the entire world, Ekadashi was there only in the boundaries of India. And there was some fortnightly fast in the Western world, which people would do for what detoxification and whatever. But Srila Prabhupada got this very, very wonderful Shastric Anga of Bhakti that is called as Ekadashi. There are many, many benefits of fasting on Ekadashi. So today we'll try to see what is this Ekadashi all about, what is its origin, what are we supposed to do on this day, what are we not supposed to do on this day, and so on. Please repeat. Yagyadana tapa karma natyajyam karyamevata Yagyodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishina. See, one thing we have to understand is we have come to this material world and we are very contaminated. Unfortunately, very contaminated. So finally, the goal of being in this material world is we need to purify ourselves. If purification is not happening, then we are not heading anywhere. We are just stuck here. And lifetime after lifetime we'll be stuck here. So purification of oneself is very, very important. And here, Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna that sacrifice, charity, penance, they all purify a person. The penance can also be called as austerity. So all this purifies even great souls. What to talk about ordinary beings like us? Now what sort of austerities are available? So we have description in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Modagrayenatmano yat Pidaya kriyate tapaha Parayasyotsa dhanartham va Tattamasam mudaritam. So there are people who do this austerity. So by doing this austerity, they are injuring themselves. And they're hurting others also. Or they have the goal to injure others also. Any example from Shastra? Oh, Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu was one such person. His austerity was na bhuta na bhavishya. In the past, no one did such austerity, and in the future also no one can try. He stood on his legs looking up with his arms raised, and it is described for thousands of years he's standing like that. And the entire body is emaciated, only bones are there. Still this person is not leaving the body. And the teja, the effulgence from the body was so great, even Devi Devatas were perplexed. What's going on? You all want to try? Maybe in the ground in front. Yes. So huge. And what was his goal? What was Hiranyakashipu's goal? To become immortal? And do what? Becoming immortal. Rule the whole world. He wanted to be the controller. Unka goal ekdam clear tha. He wanted to make all the rules upside down. So those people, according to him, those people who are doing austerity, they're all papi. Not getting food to eat, doing so much, not sleeping, doing so many other activities. So they're all sinful people. So they're doing austerity. So they all should go to hell. And all the ones who are nicely enjoying in this world, eat, drink, marry, they all should go to heaven because they're practicing for going for heaven. So in this way, he wanted to send all pious people to hell and all sinful people to heaven. And this was his goal. Just imagine such dangerous people. So maybe all the Bangalore residents would have been very happy if Hiranyakashipu would have done this. Everyone. Yeah. Now next one is in passion. So austerity in ignorance is what we saw. Now we'll see austerity in passion. Satkaramana pujartham tapodambhena chaivaya kriyate tad iha proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam. कुछ तो चाहिए इसको. I fasted, so I want something. Now he is not harming someone, or he does not have that intention, but he wants something in return. So I did some austerity, you give me something in return. Any example of this in day-to-day life that you find, or from anywhere? No. One example which I always speak about is the politicians. Yes. Anshan Vrat karenge. They'll sit at one place and then they will not eat anything. And what they want something. They want something. Yes. अभी स्टेज के पीछे जाके क्या करते, that we don't know. What they eat and drink. But at least stage के सामने आगे बैठकर. So they want something, so they're doing it. And there are people who fast and then tell everyone else, I did this vrata. What are you doing? So such people, out of pride and all that, so it comes in mode of passion. So they're expecting something. And it is neither stable or permanent. Now is the nice one, that is mode of goodness. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatrividham naraihi apalakanshibhir yuktai satvikam parichakshate. So this austerity, which the person has done out of faith, without any material expectation, just for the sake of the Supreme, that is to please Him, is a very wonderful austerity. ठीक है, अभी इसको थोड़ा साइड में रखते हैं, austerity. So austerity we have to do. This is the point. But then now in the age of Kali, we have got these wonderful qualities. Prayanayushya sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadrita. So here Shukadeva Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj this is Suta Goswami telling to Shaunakadi Rishis. So it's very nice shloka which says Prayana alpa ayuhu sabhya kala asmin yuge janaha. So all the jana in Kali Yuga, they have got alpa ayu. What does that mean? Short-lived or short life. Very short life. How many years are you going to live? 100. Now you're 20. Oh, 120, very poor. And any other number anyone has? हाँ? अरे भाई पता नहीं कभी टपक जाएंगे इधर, बाहर जाने के बाद क्या होगा पता नहीं. Yes. See, previously I was reading in Ramayana. There was one boy who died before his father. So that father comes with the dead body of that boy, young boy, and then he is shouting, in the kingdom, that how can this happen? That before me, when the father is alive, how can son die? This was the situation previously. And people would bless also. Budhe hoke marna. Means become old and die. Now you see, it's so pathetic. We get to hear the 21-year-old person gets heart attack and he dies and things like that. So, प्रायण अल्प पता नहीं क्या कभी नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा कभी next body में चले जाए. We don't know. When we'll die, we don't know. So, very short life, very short-lived. So, someone is very confident, like Prabhu was very confident, 100 years. Will live. So, the next thing that says is, in this age of Kali, say even if people are confident they're going to live for certain number of years, the next quality they have is manda. Manda means lazy. मतलब spiritual practice करने में एकदम lazy. You invite people, for programs. See, at least you people are coming from PGs, different places. I really appreciate that too in a rainy day. Sometimes we do programs in a community. So in clubhouse, and then people have to just come down from their houses and then walk to the clubhouse. मतलब community के अंदर, apartments के अंदर. उसमें भी लोग नहीं आते. कौन उतना उतरे, उतना चल के जाए. We have so many people like that. So lazy, but in the same message you send an invitation to a party. So today we have New Year party. They're ready to go, maybe, travel by flight also to some place and, do maza and come back. So lazy for spiritual practice, but very eager to do sense gratification. That is the second quality. Now someone might say, Prabhuji, see, you're talking to us. We have good life and we have all inclination for practicing bhakti. Then comes the next quality. Sumanda Matayo is less intelligent. In the age of Kali, to distinguish between what is right path and what is wrong path is very difficult. People say all paths go to the same destination. It's almost like you take a ticket, to go to Kanyakumari and you're sitting in the train and someone is asking you, "Kahan ja rahe ho aap?" Delhi. Just imagine. The people feel all paths go to the same destination. It's not the case. So to understand what is right, what is wrong, that also becomes difficult for people in general. Therefore, it's very important to note that even after having spiritual inclination, a person gets deviated. He gets deviated to such an extent that he starts practicing something which is of no use and he calls it to be spiritual. When Srila Prabhupada went to West, वहां तो अच्छा spiritual practice था. Take drugs of high dose, get into hallucination, and that is spirituality. And there are people who give a lot of other definitions of spirituality. Therefore, it's very important. In fact, I remember this was before COVID. One person had come and he became a nice devotee, practicing, chanting good number of rounds. After that, he told me, Prabhuji, I was going to so-and-so organization. 10 years. वो जब भी बुलाते थे मैं तभी जाता था. Morning 3 o'clock I used to go. Night 12 o'clock I used to go and do seva. But finally, now I am realizing when I'm reading Bhagavad Gita that they never taught me anything about spirit, soul and supreme spirit. The only thing that they taught me was how to take care of this body. And he was feeling so morose, when he was speaking to me. In this way, people have natural spiritual inclination, but kabhi bhi path nahi milta. Now someone will say, see Prabhuji, I've got good lifespan, I'm interested in spirituality, and I've got the right path. I've come to ISKCON. So wonderful. The next thing that comes into picture is Manda Bhagya, unlucky. So even after getting the right path, sometimes people don't get the right guidance and right association. Many times people don't get devotee association. एक ऐसे कोई कोने में shift हो जाते for job and then they don't know where is association, they're not getting association. And say even after getting association, like all of you sitting here, so you're confident that you're going to live at least for next 2 hours. You have spiritual inclination. You're not very lazy for that. And then you've got the right path also. And now that comes into picture is, you're lucky because you have association of devotees. But Upadrita is the last quality. And Upadrita means always disturbed. Even after coming in the association of devotees, sitting in the temple, hearing a person speak from Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, we are so disturbed that we are not able to focus on what the person is speaking. These are the wonderful qualities of a person in Kali Yuga. Abhi, this is what is our situation, and we are supposed to break the cycle of birth and death and go to Vaikuntha. Sometimes people ask, Prabhuji, ye sambhav hai kya? Is it possible? If you analyze my nature, if you analyze my entire lifestyle, you understand that I am the most sinful person on the planet. How will I go back? How will I break the cycle of birth and death? How many of you have this question? Oh, teri sabke paas yahi question. Actually, that's a fact also. How is it possible? How is it possible? So Krishna understands all this. Krishna knows very well ये austerity ज़्यादा होगा नहीं लोग से, ज़्यादा कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे. Therefore, Krishna gives shortcuts in spiritual life. But problem of the Kali Yuga being is उसमें shortcut के अंदर और एक shortcut ढूंढते हैं. That's the problem. But Krishna has given enough shortcuts for all of us to purify ourselves and go back home back to Godhead. And one such shortcut which purifies us faster or very quick is Ekadashi. Yes. This is a very, very auspicious day. And today I'm going to speak on this topic so you'll understand how auspicious it is. So anyone who observes this Ekadashi, Vrata, that person becomes very purified. Now what is this Ekadashi all about? So Ekadashi, so I hope all of you know this, Shukla Paksh and Krishna Paksh. Shukla Paksh is new moon to full moon and Krishna Paksh is full moon to new moon. So we have this 15 days. So now in both these we have Pratipad, Dvitiya, Tritiya. These are the ways in which we count in Sanskrit. So the Lord Ram's appearance day is called as Ram Navami. Navami means ninth day, right? Ninth day. So Navami. And then now we have Vijaya. That's the 10th day. And this is Ekadashi. This is 11th day. Yes. So this is the 11th day. So 11th day we have in both Shukla Paksh and Krishna Paksh. Shukla means white and Krishna means black. Yes. So in this way, Ekadashi is the 11th day. So on the day of Ekadashi, we are expected to do Upavas. Upavas means fasting. Yes. Many people know they say fasting, Upavas. But Upavas has got some inner meaning also. And what is that inner meaning? You divide it into two. This word Upavas into two. Upa and Vas. Upa means near and Vas means to stay. To stay near kitchen. One of my friend was telling this. शिवरात्रि था. So he was telling, अरे मैं शॉपिंग करने जाना है. मैं बोला शॉपिंग क्या करेगा? आज तो फास्टिंग है. One day before. कल तो फास्टिंग है. अरे नहीं हम लोग एक शिवरात्रि के दिन उपवास करते हैं. बोला तो क्या शॉपिंग करेगा? 10 किलो आलू चाहिए. Wondering 10 किलो आलू क्या क्या बनाएंगे? And then he gave me a list of wonderful preparations. So Upavas is meant not to stay near the kitchen but to stay near the Lord. That's called as Upavas. Can you imagine? So many people don't know this also. For them, Upavas is just another austerity. But it is an opportunity to stay close to the Lord. And it is also called as Hari Vasara. Hari Vasara means that day which is very dear to Lord Hari. Very dear to Lord Hari. So let's try to understand the different Ekadashis which are there. It's very auspicious to chant the names of Ekadashi. So here are the Ekadashis. So in a month there are 2 Ekadashis. So total how many Ekadashis? 24. And there is one month that gets added in every 2.5 to 3 years. That's called as Adhik Mas. Someday we'll discuss all this calculation. Very interesting. Adhik Mas. Adhik Mas also has got 2 more Ekadashis. So total 26. So please repeat after me the names. Utpanna, Mokshada, Safala, Putrada, Sattila, Bhaimi, Vaikuntha, also called as Vijaya, Amalaki, Papamochani, Kamada, Varothini, Mohini, Apara, Pandav Nirjala, Yogini, Shayana. Now Monday is Ekadashi, by the way. So which month is going on now? May, June. So we have this Ekadashi coming that's called as Apara Ekadashi. Apara Ekadashi? Yes. And after that comes the most amazing Ekadashi called, देखिए नाम में ही लिखा हुआ है पांडव निर्जला एकादशी. In ISKCON, we have all our groups, no? Everywhere the post will come, drink water, drink water, drink water, one day before. So on that day, we fast without drinking water also. And then Kamika, Pavitropana, Aja Ananda, Parshva, Indira, Papankusha, Rama, Utthana. These are from Purushottam, that is Adhik Mas. Padmini, Parama. So these are various wonderful names of Ekadashi, and it is described that anyone who chants this Ekadashi names, they get a lot of spiritual credit. Congratulations. Let's go to the next one. Why to observe Ekadashi? Many people ask, why to observe? वो scientific बताइए, Prabhu, is scientific. Scripture वाला बाद में, पहले scientific. So I put scientific reason first. Okay, let's dive into some DNA. Now, what you see is DNA, and the orange thing that you see is called as telomere, or also called as junk DNA. अब इसकी खासियत ऐसा है कि as the cells go on dividing, this telomere will go on reducing. You see this? It goes on reducing. And it finally becomes 0. The person dies. So this also decides your lifespan. Telomere also decides your lifespan. Now, the research says that all those people are very good at breaking 4 regulative principles. Eating meat. Yes. Eating meat. And then having illicit sex, frequent sex with anyone and everyone like hogs and dogs do on the street. And then those people who are into alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, etc. So all these different activities, sinful activities which people do. So it is described that this particular telomere that is there, it reduces very fast. It goes very fast. And it is also observed in those people who live a very nice, holistic lifestyle, who live a pure life, having vegetarian food, living a very peaceful, calm life, sattvic life basically. For them, this reduction of telomere that is there is very, very slow. It goes very slow. And that's how people live for a long time. I mean, the lifespan is increased. And this is exactly in accordance with the shloka which talks about sattvic food, which comes in 17th chapter or 14th chapter, where it is very beautifully described that anyone who takes only sattvic food, so they are the ones, who remain healthy, and they are the ones, who have got long lifespan. Now, there was an experiment that was done. So I'm just keeping it very short. There was an experiment that was done where some good number of people, it was seen that when the calorie intake reduces, so this telomere reduction, also the pace reduces. So what they did was they did an experiment and say you're eating 100%, they reduced that eating to 25%. So there were good number of people on whom this experiment was done. 25% of food was given. And it was seen that this was reducing, but in a very, very slow pace. And they were very happy, we have found something great. But now the pathetic thing that happened was, those people who were giving less food, they started feeling very weak because calorie intake was very less. Now the next thing that they found was really amazing, for which they got award also. And what was that? It was seen that those people who fast once in 15 days for 36 hours, for them, the telomere decrease rate that is there is same as those people who are taking only 25% of the calorie for a good number of days. And therefore, these people got a Nobel Prize for this. And guess what? In Shastra, this particular day which those people are talking is called as Ekadashi. So wonderful, no? Therefore, it is described as Vedic life agar जी लेंगे ना हम लोग, will remain healthy materially, will enjoy materially, remain happy and spiritually grow and go back home back to Godhead. But these new things, the modernization that has come up, it says enjoy Madi, will just kill you like this. Will kill you like this. And it is described, anyone who is in between the age of 8 to 80, they should do this fasting. Beyond that, before 8 and after 80, there is no scope. So they are exempted. But these people who are there between 8 to 80, they should do this fasting. आप लोग का एज इसमें आता है ना 8 नहीं? There's another scientific research that was done. This is very nice. Read it more because I don't want to keep this class scientific. Now I want to keep it more spiritual. But you can read about this, fasting and autophagy. So I'll just read what is written here. Fasting triggers autophagy. What is that? It is recognized as crucial defense mechanism against malignancy. What is malignancy? Cancer, yeah. Malignancy, infection, and neurodegenerative diseases. So these three, these are headline, our title, and a huge list below that. So you all can read more and do research more on this. So it's very nice to note that even things like cancer and other things can be avoided if someone does fasting properly according to the prescription that is given. Not mangadan like Hiranyakashipu and the politicians and others. So this is scientific. So you all can do more research if you want. Let's go for spiritual and scriptural reason. Let me tell you two incidences that took place, and this is recorded in Padma Puran and Garga Samhita. So let me tell you from Padma Puran. So when Lord did the entire creation, someday we'll discuss in deep how the creation happened. When this entire creation was done, at that time Lord created the personification of sin. So the entire person who was there was representing different types of big sins. His head represents killing or murdering some great souls. His body limbs were representing something, his legs were representing something. Like that, the entire body was personification of sin. So now this person was created specially to give punishment to those people who are sinful. So he was sent that, yes, you are hired and your job location is Narakalok. Please go. And please report to your senior manager, director, Yamaraj. So he went on the day, joining was decided, joining date, promotion, the salary, everything was given to him. He was very happy with the package that he got. And he was very happy with the job description that was there. Just punish everyone the way you want. Now it so happened that Lord decided that let me go around and check how's my creation. He went around the different planetary systems and then finally he came to Narakaloka. He met Yamaraj, the head of the department there. And then when Lord came, Yamaraj was very happy. For your information, there are 12 Mahajan, 12 great personalities. One of them is Yamaraj, a great devotee of the Lord. So as soon as he saw the Lord, he paid obeisance and then he welcomed him. And nice discussion was going on. At that time, huge sounds of yelling and crying was coming. Lord Vishnu, by the way, he knows everything, but still he's asking Yamaraj, just so that all of us sitting here will get to know what happened there. So Lord Vishnu, the all-knower personality, he asked, Yamaraj, why there are so many cries here? Why people are yelling? What's happening? And at that time, Yamaraj said, oh Lord, you only hired a person. You only shifted him to this place. And you have given him a beautiful job description of punishing all those people who are sinful. He's doing that job, O Lord, and therefore everyone is suffering because of this. And because of suffering, they're crying. At that time, Lord's compassionate nature. See, our Lord is very compassionate. So compassionate that even if we don't do proper bhakti, still He gives us opportunity every Saturday. Please come and hear about me. Please come and hear about me. Every time He gives us opportunity. To be frank, बताइए, हमारी औकात है क्या भक्ति करने की? Do we have some qualification to practice bhakti? At least I feel that I was not qualified. Somehow by Lord's mercy, we just came to devotee association, and devotees are so merciful. They also engaged us, in various activities of devotional service. Lord is very merciful, very, very merciful. In fact, the most hope-giving thing which I feel is we might be very, very sinful in the past, but still, Lord is so merciful that He will allow us to practice bhakti, purify ourselves, and go back home, back to God. That's the hope that we have. And He gives testimony of this in various pastimes of His. Putana came to kill Krishna by giving poison to him. And Krishna purified her, killed her, and gave the position of mother in the spiritual world. अभी बताइए, जो लोग इतने बारिश के दिन में भी छतरी लेके चल के जो सेंटर में आते हैं, ग्लोरीज ऑफ एकादशी सुनते हैं, और जो शायद आगे चलकर एकादशी व्रत भी करें, टेल मी, कृष्णा विल नॉट टेक देम बैक होम? व्हाट डू यू से? हरि बोल बोलिए. Krishna will take. Why not? He will take. That's the glory of Lord's compassion. When Lord heard that, He felt so compassionate that personification of compassion manifested from His body, Lord's transcendental body. And she said, I am Ekadashi. And anyone who chants the holy name of the Lord on this particular day, the 11th day of both Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha, that person will be freed from all the sinful reactions that he has accumulated from many lifetimes, and he can go back home, back to Godhead. अभी जब discussion चल रहा था, all those sinful people who were there, कान लगा के सुन रहे थे. दीवारों के कान होते हैं. They were all hearing. And when they all were hearing, they heard this glory. Anyone who chants on the day of Ekadashi, they asked, भाई कौन सा दिन चल रहा है? And fortunately, that was the day of And all of them, they heard that. All of them, they started loudly chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And it was seen that all of them were getting purified and they were breaking the cycle of birth and death and directly going back home, back to Godhead. So many sinful people. Now there was one person who had real problem and his name was the Papa Purusha, the personification of sin who was created. So he went with a complaint that I don't want free salary because I don't have any job now. What to do? This Ekadashi that you have created, O Lord, by her mercy, that day anyone who chants the holy name by fasting, all of them are going back home by getting fully purified. What is this? What will I do? And now wherever she is present, I cannot be present. So where should I go, Lord? Where should I go? And Lord smiled. And Lord said, "Abhi isko kahin to jagah dena padega. I have created him." So at that time, Lord said, see, on the day of Ekadashi, people don't eat grains. So you go and take shelter in the grains. Therefore, it is described that on the Ekadashi, people don't eat grains. Yeah? Anyone who eats grains, they will get the mercy of Papa Purusha. So all the sins which are there, personification of sin, is there in the biryani that day. Or whatever. So the person eats and then he gets the benefit of associating with Papa Purusha, and then rest, I think you all can understand what will happen. Therefore, these grains are avoided on the day of Ekadashi. Now, there is another pastime which comes from Garga Samhita. Now, there was a demon called Mura. What is the name? Mura. Yes. This demon Mura, he was so powerful. He attacked the heavenly planets, defeated all the Devatas, and captured the heaven. And he was enjoying there. He attacked a place called Chandravati and he made that place as his headquarters. All the Devatas went to Lord Vishnu and they requested, please do something. No, घर से निकाल दिया हम लोग को. कहाँ जाए अभी हम? We don't want to go to this Bhuloka, especially Bangalore. We don't want to go there. We want our place. We want to enjoy there. We don't want to go there. So that time Lord Vishnu said, okay, where is he? He said, okay, I will go and do the needful. So Lord Vishnu found him, in a place near Himalaya, Himavati, in Badrik Ashram. And there, he went to Chandravati, not there. He went to Chandravati. And there he went and the fight began. And this fight, it is described that it went on and on and on. कभी-कभी मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि भगवान इतना क्यों ड्रामा करते हैं? What is the need? I was reading about Varahadev. You all know Varahadev? He is the boar incarnation of the Lord. So he was having fight with Hiranyaksha. Hiranyakashipu ka bhai. So they were having fight. And it went on for thousands of years. And then finally all the Devatas requested, oh Lord, please finish him. You know what Lord did? एक चाटा लगाया उसको कान के नीचे. And he died. I was wondering, he could have done this before only. But you know what? That description that is given, the fight between Varahadev and Hiranyaksha is so wonderful. You will easily get to know that South Indian movies have picked up from here only. वो ऐसे punch मारेंगे and then he will move and like this, they're moving. Wonderful. And then he goes and falls like that. Wonderful description. You know why Lord does all these different pastimes? He can just punch him once and just finish him off. Lord does all these pastimes just so that people who like this action, comedy, romance, those people will naturally get attracted, to this. They'll meditate on all this. And if you meditate on the Leela of the Lord, we'll get purified and we'll go back home, back to Godhead. The Lord is asking, oh, you like action? So action movies dekhta hai na? Main dikhata hu tujhe action. Ye hai action. See this and get purified and chalo, let's go back home, back to Godhead, to our eternal home. You see? Therefore, Lord does these pastimes. And here also he was fighting. And now he does another drama to attract all our hearts and the hearts of the Devatas who are watching this movie that was going on. He becomes tired. और fight नहीं कर सकता. And then he goes and takes shelter in a cave in Himalayas, Himavati, which I was talking about in Badrik Ashram. And he's so tired that he goes to rest. And at that time, Mura is searching everywhere. कहाँ गया है विष्णु? कायर भाग गया. Where is he? Where is he? Sometimes, Lord allows the demons also to feel proud. I defeated, भाग गया, देखो भाग गया. You know what? When Lord leaves the battlefield also, still that is very, very glorious. Another example from Srimad Bhagavatam, where there's a person called Jarasandha. Now Jarasandha, he would attack Mathura, and then Lord would defeat the entire group, entire troop, entire army. बस इसको अकेले को जिंदा छोड़ते थे भगवान. And this person would feel, see, I came back alive. And then he would go and get another set of people from all around the world. And it described that he would get many, many, many Akshonis from all over the world. And Lord was thinking that I have descended to this world for what? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushrutam, to kill all the miscreants. देखो घर पे बैठ के हो रहा है. He's doing wonderful job. भाई तू जा लेके. 17 times Lord defeated him. 17 times. And 18th time Lord got bored of him. वो आया army लेके. And Lord also came with Balram. And both of them spoke to each other. यार फिर से आ गया ये. They both got down from the chariot, started walking. And after some time they started running. And then look at this demon. He has got such audacity. And he's saying, अरे कहाँ भाग रहा है तू? कहाँ भाग रहा है? अगर दम है तो सामने आ. अरे भाई 17 times has defeated you. And you know what? When Krishna kidnapped Rukmini, and Rukmini का शादी फिक्स हुआ था शिशुपाल के साथ. Now Krishna kidnapped Rukmini and he left. So at that time it is described that Shishupal bichara ekdam ready tha शादी के लिए. He was wearing the best of the best clothes and was sitting. And he was completely pissed off when he saw that my to-be wife is kidnapped. He was sitting. And now it is described उस शादी में they had invited all the army. They didn't invite people, for wedding. They invited army of different king. And the entire goal was protect. An entire army with so many kings, they went to fight. And Balram was there to fight with the entire army of his. And Balram defeated all of them. And Shishupal heard this. And Shishupal was sitting. This head. Heavy head. This person, this Gopa, he came and kidnapped my wife. And all these kings, they didn't do anything. So when he sat there like that, so at that time Jarasandha came to console him. And Jarasandha said, एक बार defeat मिला and you're sitting like this? Look at me. 17 times has defeated. But you know what? मैं कभी हार नहीं माना. And 18th time, I defeated him. देखो ये demon. This is called as demon. And this Mura also came who saw the Lord. He was searching firstly. And then he came to the same cave. He saw the Lord resting. देखो यहाँ छुपा हुआ है ये विष्णु. And then Mura was about to attack, and it is described that a very, very beautiful, very strong, energetic personality emerged, from the body of the Lord. And she fought with Mura. And Mura was thinking, Vishnu मुझे defeat नहीं कर पाया, ये क्या लड़की आई है. And he was fighting, and then with time he understood, अरे ये तो विष्णु से भी strong लगती है. And then the fight went on and on, and it is described, she killed Mura. And the all-knowing personality who was seemingly resting, he opened his eyes. He saw the dead body of Mura, and he saw this beautiful lady. And then he is asking, what happened? What happened? And at that time she described that, oh Lord, I'm your energy. And this demon came to kill you. And as service to you for your pleasure, I killed him. And at that time, Lord was very happy, and he's asking, so who are you and what benediction you want? And she said, see, I've appeared on the 11th day of this Paksha. Therefore, my name is Ekadashi. And oh Lord, the only benediction that I want is, anyone who observes this Ekadashi fasting, anyone who chants the holy name by fasting on this day, they should be relieved of all the sins, and you should accept them as your eternal servants. And Lord said, Tathastu, may it happen. Therefore, it is described, anyone who fasts on the day of Ekadashi, chanting the holy names, yes, we'll get purified. भले हम कितने भी sinful थे past में, yes, we'll be relieved of sins. But ऐसा नहीं कि एकादशी के दिन fast करो और द्वादशी के दिन list बना के पाप करो. That will not be entertained. That will not be entertained. And great personalities in the past. Lord himself has preached that one should fast on Ekadashi. All the ones who know about Lord Chaitanya, it is good. The ones who don't know, just for your information, Lord Krishna appeared in the age of Kali to give us this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and his name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in his childhood, he preached to his mother. He was between the age of 5 to 10. It's called as Pauganda age. So he was there between 5 to 10. So one day he preached to his mother, saying, "Oh mother, I want one benediction from you. I'm asking one charity from you, not benediction, one charity." And she was like, "What do you want, beta? What do you want?" And at that time he said, "I want you to fast on Ekadashi. It's very, very auspicious." Can you imagine Supreme Lord telling his mother, who is Supreme, that can you please fast on Ekadashi? And guess what? What the mother said, "Why not? I will do that." And from that day onwards, Lord and his mother, they were fasting on every Ekadashi. It's also described that when Lord, he did his pastimes, went on doing his pastimes, towards the end of his Bhauma Leela, he was there in Jagannath Puri. And one day he went to a garden called Vallabh Gardens. It was the day of Ekadashi. And he was instructing all his followers that today is Ekadashi. All of us should chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. All of us should chant the holy names of the Lord and spend our entire day and night just chanting the holy names, because today is the auspicious Ekadashi. And he gave a class on Ekadashi to everyone. And everyone was very inspired, hearing the glories of Ekadashi, to continue the fasting and chant the holy names continuously. Can you imagine? Lord himself is preaching about Ekadashi and he himself is fasting to show us that how important it is. More proofs from the scriptures. See, when someone is called as a bhakta, devotee, he is supposed to practice bhakti. And what are the different angas of bhakti? There's a great list that is given called 64 limbs of devotional service, 64 angas of bhakti. And these 64 angas or limbs of bhakti are very powerful, which starts with the base, with the most important ones like Shravanam, Kirtanam. Shravanam means hearing about the Lord. Kirtanam, chanting the holy names of the Lord. And like this, Archanam means worshipping. On and on and on. And when this list is given, one of the important element that is listed in the first 20 itself or first 30 itself is Ekadashi. It is described, Ekadashi is one of the very, very important anga of bhakti. And anyone who observes this day of Ekadashi, that person gets a lot of spiritual merit, very advances very fast in bhakti. The benefits of fasting are given on Ekadashi. So I have got this different quotes, from Brihad Naradiya Puran. Please repeat. Sarva papa prashamanam punya atyantikam tatha govinda smaranam nrina ekadasyam uposhanam sarva papa prashamanam. So when someone fasts on the day of Ekadashi, Ekadasyam, Uposhanam, anyone who fasts on the Ekadashi, the first thing that happens is Sarva Papa Prashamanam. That is, all the sins are destroyed. Doesn't matter how many sins we have from past lives, all the sins are destroyed. Second, Punya Atyantikam Tatha. And a person gains abundant pious credits, abundant spiritual credits. Govinda Smaranam Nrinam, and that person attains remembrance of the Lord. Pehla do to easily ho jata hai. That, sins are destroyed and one gets a lot of pious credits, spiritual credits. But the third one is very, very important. Because see, all of us, aisa nahi ki we are not sincere. We all want to do bhakti sincerely. But 24/7, Bhagwan ko yaad kar paate kya hum log? Are we able to do that? Yeah. Sometimes people say, when we ask, so आप chanting कर रहे हो beads पे? प्रभु जी अंदर ही अंदर चल रहा है. आप तो कहते हैं कि केवल 16 राउंड्स करने के लिए. प्रभु जी मैं कह रहा हूं अंदर ही अंदर 24/7 करता हूं मैं. Is that possible? At least at our level, is it possible? बंदा कोडिंग कर रहा है और अंदर महामंत्र चलेगा. Nonsense. It's not going to happen. बट क्या करें ना, लोगों को लगता है कि वो तो उच्च स्तर की भक्ति पे है और लड़की को देखते ही एकदम I found so many nonsensical people like that, you know. But you know what? Anyone who observes Ekadashi, this benediction is given. He attains constant remembrance of the Lord. I feel very fortunate that I got to know about Ekadashi. In fact, some people ask me how your spiritual life started. This I'll just share in short. One shouldn't speak about oneself, but I'm just sharing because it's in the context. So me and my friend, we had just gone for Mumbai Darshan, going around and hanging around in Mumbai. Friend means he was a boy. So both of us, we went around. And then we went to Juhu Beach, and then we were discussing some things. And then Juhu Beach ke just samne hai, opposite mein, we have a ISKCON temple, huge ISKCON temple. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the temple was closed. It was about to open. So we were all there, and I was observing the entire place. There's some foreigners, who were taking care of various services there. And there were people who were in dhoti kurta and all that. Foreigners. And I was in pencil jeans and shirt, whatever. And I was observing, arey, thoda alag ho gaya. I'm supposed to be in that attire and they are in this attire. Then we went inside and then we were made to sit. I think I was in first year of engineering at that time. And then the brahmachari was there in saffron. The altar is closed and he started announcing that tomorrow is the auspicious day of Ekadashi. Somehow by the training that was given to us in the house. So fasting was there in the training. My mother would say that fast on this day and that day. So he was speaking about some other fasting day. So I heard, what is that? And then he started saying, anyone who fasts on this day, he gave a big list, material list. You'll get this particular thing, you'll become very famous, you'll become a magnetic personality, you'll get a lot of punya, you'll go to a heavenly planet, enjoy like this, etc., etc., etc. And then I was looking at my friend, that's an amazing offer, we should do it. And you know what? It's only by Lord's mercy that next day I fasted on Ekadashi. And it was the same day of Ekadashi, when I called up that devotee, my mentor, who was going to be my mentor, and asked him various questions which I had in spiritual life. He answered all my questions and my spiritual life began on the day of Ekadashi. So I'm very indebted to the day of Ekadashi because it's very, very auspicious. Someday, yes, we want to attain the third thing, that is attaining the remembrance of the Lord. How many of you want to remember the Lord 24/7? Yes. Please, O Lord, grant all of us your constant remembrance. Yeah. Okay, few more quotes. Because see, we are very scientific people, so we should always ask for this logical quotes. Proof kya hai? What is the proof that all my sins will go away? पता चला मैं फास्टिंग भी कर लिया और कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. मेहनत सब चला गया. So नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So we should have some quotes. Yes. Again, one more quote. Ekadashi vratam nama sarvakama falapradam kartabhyam sarvada viprair Vishnu prenana karanam. So here it is said that one should always do this Ekadashi vrata. Ekadashi vratam nama. And if someone does that, what happens? Sarva kama falapradam. So described that by doing this vrata, all the desires that we have will get fulfilled. And literally, there are some Ekadashis, where it is described. If you read Ekadashi Mahatmya, all 26 Ekadashis, there are Mahatmyas given. We have a book also called Ekadashi Mahatmya. So in that it is literally given. One will become very opulent, materially, become very wealthy. So उसमें वो अभी तक दिया नहीं, मतलब पढ़ा नहीं मैंने कि ले ऑफ हो गया तो जॉब मिल जाएगा. I have not read that. But I'm sure that might also happen. No, I am sure. You'll get a good match. All these things are given in that. So in this way, all the desires that we have, material desires also get fulfilled. But then see, when we start practicing spirituality, bhakti, we don't go and do business with the Lord. So we don't say that, oh Lord, see, I did fasting. And now, the next day, when we break the fast, you go in front of the Lord and I did fasting and I want this list to be sanctioned. And you start reading one by one. Maybe Lord will sanction. He's very merciful. He might. But see, apna ye kaam nahi hai. We don't do all this. We go to the Lord and ask for the highest thing. And that is, oh Lord, I did all this for your pleasure. I hope you are satisfied with this service of mine. Please give me a constant remembrance and please help me to advance in bhakti. मुझे और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. अभी by the way ये prayer only guts चाहिए, ठीक है ना? I just want to satisfy your Lord. I just want to do your bhakti. I just want to advance. और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. पता है किस किस में guts है यहाँ जो ये prayer offer कर सकता है? अरे बोल. और बाकी लोग सोचे प्रभु जी ऐसे सब मत कीजिए. शर्म आ रहा है हम लोग को. You know what? Lord knows what we want and Lord will give us what we want. He will give us for sure. But at least that core desire that we should have in our heart is I want to advance in bhakti. Maybe auxiliary desires which are there around might be okay. Whatever material desires we have. Lord will sanction that also. But that core desire should be I want to advance in bhakti. I want to attain you, Lord, this life. Ye core desire hona chahiye. Yes. And other desires, anyways, Lord knows. No, Lord, you will go in front of the Lord and say, oh Lord, I just want to advance in bhakti. और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. और altar से आवाज आया, चल झूठे. इतना सारा डिजायर है तेरे दिल में और बोल रहा है कुछ नहीं चाहिए. कोई नहीं, चल तूने इतना फास्टिंग किया, इतना व्रत किया, इतना चैंटिंग किया, okay, I'll sanction whatever you want. तथास्तु. That's the glory of our Lord. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada also says this. To observe Ekadashi Vrata and Dvadashi Vrata means to please the Supreme Lord. इसलिए बोला ना Hari Vashara, the day which is very dear to Krishna. Those interested in advancing Krishna consciousness must observe Ekadashi Vrata regularly. Now, how to observe this fasting? This is the last section. कब से कब तक करना है? From when should we start? So, there's an app called Vaishnav Calendar, so you can download. So, usme, anyways we'll get it. And our devotees will also post a reminder if you want to know more about that. So, this Ekadashi Vrat, say today is, so say tomorrow is Ekadashi Vrat. You know, by the way, when is the next Ekadashi? Monday is the next Ekadashi. Yes. So, Monday morning, when you get up before sunrise, at least Ekadashi can thoda jaldi uthna chahiye before sunrise. So, just when the sunrise begins, so Vrata begins. So, उसके पहले जितना पानी पीना है, जितना बिरयानी खाना है, जितना whatever. Yes, but we don't do all that. Yes, so we don't do all that. As soon as we get up, we are consider that the fast has begun. But technically, the fast begins from sunrise. So, from sunrise, it goes to the next day, and there is a auspicious slot of time that is called as Paran time. So, that time you can check. And in that time, we should break our fast. So, since we have fasted from the grains, so in that time, we break our fast by taking grains, prasad. And what all things to avoid on the day of Ekadashi? So, all the grains which are there, all the pulses. So, we avoid all this. And all the derivatives of these grains we can avoid. So, I think you're intelligent to understand. The grains and pulses should be avoided. So, ज़्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाना है उसमें. So, अक्खा grain नहीं खाना लेकिन burger खा सकते हैं. Grain नहीं है उसमें, something else. No. So, don't use a lot of dimag, use little and try to understand. Grains and pulses should be avoided. So, what are the levels of fasting? The first one is Nirjala. Nirjala means one shouldn't take water. Now, so one person was saying, Prabhu, I'm doing Nirjala. Then I saw him eating. I asked him, you said you're doing Nirjala. I'm not taking water. I'm not taking water today. Except that everything else I'll take. This is called as, being over smart. So Nirjala means not even taking water. Let me be very clear. Not even taking water. Yes. So this fasting which is there, if it is not properly done, then health will get affected. It so happens that the person fasts the entire day without water and next day वो पारण time का wait कर रहा है, बस अभी 30 seconds बचा है. And then he goes and then whatever is cooked, say chapati, sabji, pakoda, pulao, biryani, paneer, and everything he puts in his body and done after that. Sometimes, it is very dangerous also, because the stomach cannot take, right? So stepwise the fast has to be broken. So the person takes only water when in the paran time, because he fasted from water also. So just by drinking water, his fast can break. And after a few hours, he'll take only fruits. And after that, he'll take very light food. And next day, he'll eat properly. So Nirjala is something which is good, but normally we don't recommend because we don't break the fast properly. So it's sometimes dangerous for health. Next is falahar, just taking fruits, roots and fruits. Yes. So all the fruits which are there, we can take. Sometimes people ask, "Guruji, कितने बार खा सकते हैं?" By खाओ जितने बार खाना है. No problem. You can eat as many times as you want. So you can take fruits. अभी fruit में भी don't use your extra दिमाग. Fruits means fruits. That's it. Yes. Jol fal and all are not allowed. Jal fal is machi, fish. So we shouldn't use our extra dimag and say that isme kha. There are people, by the way, who say that this is also fruit from the water, so we can take. There are some places in India where people do all this nonsense. So fruits means fruits, according to whatever scientific, whatever you have studied in our lower standards. Yes, that one. Next is someone might say, "Oh ji, फल वल से काम नहीं होगा, कुछ solid बताइए." And solid is Anukalpa Prasad. So in Anukalpa, we can take milk. And there are some non-grain foodstuffs which are made from roots. Like we have something called as sama rice. That's made from root. There's something called, that's not made from root, but it is non-grain. There's something called sabudana, that's non-grain. Yes, that can be taken. Fruits, we can take milk, we can take curd. Yes, paneer, if you want. You can directly, maybe fry the paneer in ghee and take that. That is also allowed. So these are different things. And there are people, there are something called as Rajgiri atta. So that atta is also made from non-grain. So now devotees, they use all their intelligence to use that and make everything possible. So one devotee was sharing that he went to someone's house and there they had made Ekadashi Pani Puri. And I myself had gone to one meeting and there were 30 items, wonderful items kept, Ekadashi items. There was idli, there was dosa, there was some other item. There were like some 10 sweets were kept. And now since it was Ekadashi item, so me and another brahmachari were there in the meeting. So we had very nicely. अगले दिन समझ ही नहीं रहा था फास्टिंग किए थे हम लोग. So one devotee was asking, अरे पारण टाइम क्या है? मतलब पारण किसका पारण करेंगे अभी? So this was, I think, before COVID. In Mayapur this was. Anyways, so मतलब इतना ज़्यादा we shouldn't be thinking about eating. We should just eat and fill our belly, with whatever we can, which is allowed, and do more bhajan on that day, more chanting and things like that. So if you all want, so you all can tell your mentors, if you suppose you fast on Monday, you all can tell your mentors that you want to have some Ekadashi Prasad, it's available here. You all can come and take. अभी ये कहाँ दिया ये सब? I always had this question, कहाँ दिया ये सब? We have a shloka for that. Yes. So here it is said, now since there are no diacritics, that line and dot, it's difficult for me to read. So anyways, I'll just explain whatever I'm able to understand. See, the apaha is there, apo. Apo comes from the word apaha. Apaha means water. So water can be taken. Moolam, roots. Palam, payaha. Payaha means milk. Yes. Havi means ghee. So these are the different items which are allowed. So yes, this can be taken. So these 8 and their mixture or whatever which is prepared from these 8, that doesn't break the Ekadashi fast. Now finally, what is the mood and our activities on the day of Ekadashi? This is the last slide for today. So on that day of Ekadashi, we should chant more number of rounds. So all the devotees who don't chant 16 rounds, at least chant 16 rounds on that day. Here, you can come here and chant early in the morning. Yes. And then you can also, if you're chanting 16 already, do 25 rounds that day. Ek hi din to karna hai. So you can do that. Reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam. Yes. So actually, this fasting thing, what is the science behind fasting? It's like I'll fast from various different things so that I don't waste time in going to toilet and pass urine also. Ye hai uska science behind. So that even that time is saved and I can utilize that for chanting, reading and hearing about the Lord. Abhi chai allowed nahi hai? I have heard people have fasting, but in chai pee sakte. It was clear, right? So whatever I displayed. Hearing the glories of the Lord, worshipping the Lord with tulsi leaves and fragrant flowers. At least on that day, we can offer tulsi to the Lord, fragrant flowers to the Lord. Serving tulsi, the tulsi plant, she is very, very dear to Krishna. Serving devotees, visiting temple, participating in Sankirtan. So every day evening we have Aarti at 6 o'clock in the evening. So we can come in the evening, participate, dance in the kirtan. And finally, on that day, we should try avoiding actions, which are inspired by our anarthas, some sinful activities. Yeah. And maybe getting angry, blaspheming someone, some gossip, some chit chat, and then shorts. You can fast from YouTube shorts also on that day. Means basically invest a lot of time in doing bhakti and then try avoiding all the nonsensical time pass activities. Thank you very much. Ekadashi Vrata ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki